We take pride in satisfying every customer's financial needs.
Nga rod na lawa to kumata bak. Asira linga da foko nyu found dinkira.
Hey, elafta maboro la bank. Kalpo efa, igiso eseo, na yuna jang. Iba dinkira to. Kati yuna wallet, ibe falindiro ke kan sandiri nyat.
Ni la yuna wallet to shi muna fanno tulo yabo mano kandrin. Ni fenja jama. Isi sanno la yona wallet to kono. Yalla kamo soto. Ila wallet to kono.
Alkana la konda no tay. Kafi yuna wallet anatan tolle mukan na balwo fanondi. Abe sona yaren ko bulu podo. Nela mobile scan. Yo, science ise maboro ke wato men diate.
Ko be sandro ke fangole ba. Ko ba ke kan dimbalem. Isi ngi lonko. E sandro se yona enterprise wato wati. Ani la yona wallet to la. Ibe lan kamo soto kay la wallet to kono.
Alina nga kafun nanyi yuna dimbayal kan kasandiro ke yuna biti koto ali nga kata nyin ko kentat na sura fa lolu di sandiro kije se ma boro fanan keje
moro jun diana nyum ko di mabal din kadeda.
Hello and welcome to another edition of our show. It's another Thursday and we're back here in the studios. And of course, today we're here with the Minister of Higher Education, Prof. Gomez. Prof, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much, Fatou, and thank you for having me.
It's been a while.
Yes.
See, they tell me Prof is your favorite minister and you always, but time I'm not tanga, they want to know, take if you brother aside, so didn't tanga. Because mom did that media, so it's always great to have you.
Not tanga.
Not tanga, right? Great. Today we will be talking about the ministry. I know there have been a lot of things. Last time you came here, you were preparing to go to the Faraba campus.
Yes.
We talked about it. You told us, you know what, we're spending so much on hiring other locations, so we have to go. Taxpayers cannot continue paying. You are at the Faraba campus right now. How is the situation right now at the Faraba campus?
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be back, and thank you. And we also use the opportunity to thank your viewers, and it means that they were able to get the message at that time.
Yeah.
Because through the intervention of Kerr Fatou and other media houses, the message was able to sink very clearly. And thank God, now everybody, the phase one is ready, it's functional. The schools of business, arts and science, education, ITC, and also the library are all functional, being used. And we are now working on the second phase, God willing, next year, around next summer latest, to inaugurate the Faculty of Law,
Yeah.
the School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, and also our Chancery building. That's going to be 7 stories.
Yeah.
So next year, God
All
willing.
of these will be ready by next year?
God willing, God willing, next year, before the end of next year. In fact, let me put it that way. So before July, you know, the 2 schools should be ready, and we're thinking that around July now the Chancery will be done. So that's the plan, and we are working towards that. We've learned from mistakes of the past, you know, where we had to bring all the financiers, IDB, but they are all together, and you know, on all the projects. So before you take any move, you need to get no objection from all of them.
All of them.
If four of them agree and one of them, the 5th one, refuses, you cannot progress.
You cannot progress.
So this time around, we were very, very strategic. By now, doing the allocation per the financier. For instance, the Chancery building is handled by you know, IDB and so on. So then it becomes very clear. Barea handles the other stuff and so on, among others.
Yeah.
So this is one of the strategies we put in place, and also with the proper monitoring.
Yeah.
From time to time, I go down, you know, unannounced. Sometimes they are well informed.
Yeah.
To be monitoring and so on, because the Gambian people, then you heave, then you yakamti, so we cannot wait.
Yeah.
So, and there's no explanation that we can give,
apart
from producing results.
Because this extension costs us a lot of money.
Exactly.
That is why this campus, I remember when we had a show here, you told us the timeline it took and how much it was costing the taxpayer.
The good thing is later the Gambian people all understood that it is their own interest, because at the end of the day, it's not our money. It's taxpayers' money.
Yeah.
Every Gambian, you know, you are paying because it's a loan.
Yeah.
And you imagine you take a loan for a purpose, and that the time has come,
and it's just good,
and it's not delivered.
Yeah.
You are not enjoying for the
services.
You know, that's the services of that facility, and then now time is up for you to start paying back this loan.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, I don't think it's fair.
There was a good decision to move as soon as possible.
Now they have the facilities, very beautiful campus and so on. So we'll continue doing that, and so that they have enough space. By the way, for your info, we've also started the 3rd phase.
Okay.
But for that one, we don't have the funds now. We started the resource mobilization. That is with IDB, and for instance, for the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences for Faraba. So, and then now we asking them to help us with also a feasibility study. That will help us to have a very good consultant to do a good job. But we are saying the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences that we will build at Faraba should be, whatever is done there should be linked with what is linked to the School of, the Ministry of Health. There are different activities at, let's say, the hospital at Faraba. The different labs that have been built, so that there's a synergy.
Okay.
Because, you know, we train for the different sectors. In this case, this
School of Medicine provide for health facilities.
For the Ministry of Health. So what we do should not be in isolation. We should take cognizance of what is available. And then now see how to link that with what we're going to do at Faraba. So the feasibility study, once it is approved by IDB, we'll be doing that, and for the interest of the common good.
Okay.
So that will be the 3rd phase. But for that one,
you are mobilizing resources.
Yes, for the time being. And so on. But the 2nd phase, God willing,
next year should be done.
Before the end of the next year, end of mid 2025, we will be going back to Faraba to inaugurate.
Okay. Going back to Faraba was not an easy decision, and it didn't come easy also. There were a lot of challenges, especially with the students. they were used to this campus, and the logistics issues also that came with it, all the other facilities. I know the main issue was transportation. You guys had a partnership with the transport GTC to be transporting students to and fro from the university. It had some challenges. You guys are improving upon it, but the students are still complaining about the transportation issues. I saw in one of their resolutions, they complained, but you said, in fact, that will not continue. Now, how can you take students to somewhere all the way in Faraba and you expect them to transport themselves in Faraba? Right now, they're having issues with what you're providing. Now, if you're telling them, in fact, we will stop at some point, how is that going to make life easy?
Yes, I want to reassure them. I know when I said it here, so they were not very comfortable, and even some of them, you know.
It was, that was really, yeah.
So, but I was trying to tell them the truth.
Yeah.
My role is to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Okay.
The truth shall set us free.
Yeah.
You know, my conception of leadership is that leadership is not a popularity contest.
It's not.
Tell people the truth. So I know that even when I'm not there, even the students, when they come here as minister, you know, they too also know that this thing cannot be permanent. Yeah. All Gambians.
Well, how long are we looking at?
But
what is the plan?
Yes, exactly. So that's where we say, one, we are saying that we will, but before that we have to build the dormitories there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one. And that one, we've already had an agreement with MRC Holland Foundation and Brighter Future. So we are waiting for them, and they will be the one building. You know, Gambia government will not pay a butut on that.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't want to take loans to build the dormitories.
Yeah.
We take loans for the schools, the faculties, and all those things. But for the dormitories, since we have the generous support of MRC Holland Foundation and Brighter Future, we want to capitalize on that and for them to help us. Then now, once you have that, then you see you won't have that number of students now going to Faraba.
Because most of them will be staying
on campus.
Okay.
They come out from their dormitories and then enter the classroom.
Okay.
And just walk again, go back. So that is going to help the situation. Remember, once this thing is done, everything is done, they will be having even supermarkets there.
Okay.
So they will need. They can stay for a whole month without coming out from Faraba.
Yeah.
So that's the conception. Well,
but the timeline is not, because when you said it, a lot of people thought, oh, maybe it's next semester.
No,
maybe.
well, yes.
So what is the timeline? First, the dormitories have to be in place.
Yes.
And all the facilities have to be in place before this can happen,
yeah,
right?
but by the way, the transport will still be there.
Okay.
Whether the dormitories are there or not, the transport will still remain.
Okay.
You get the point. The GTSC will still be there providing transport. They're going up to buses, so they will be able to go to Faraba.
Faraba, yes.
So what we are saying is what we are offering.
Okay.
You know, we wanted to demonstrate that it was possible, that the argument to say Faraba
Faraba is far.
You know, it doesn't hold water.
It doesn't hold water.
That was the demonstration that we wanted to have,
Okay.
and to show you that it's possible.
Yeah.
And that was done. And then also, because of the factors around, we do not want to create any problem for anybody.
Yeah.
And strategically, we went for the $10.
Okay.
You get the point?
Yeah.
So they pay from Canifing to Faraba $10.
Okay.
And then also the same thing to come back and so on. So you all know that you don't have it anywhere.
No.
You know, so even to go to Lamin,
yes.
You know, you don't pay that, you know, and
you
Brikama and so on. So what we are saying is, and we will have to look at it at the appropriate time, not now, the appropriate with all stakeholders to look at what is reasonable. Okay, to now see how they can, instead of $10, they can increase more than that. That will help. Remember our arrangement with GTSE, we normally pay them after.
Yeah.
We will pay them after, maybe 1 year after.
Yeah.
You get the point. So in between, they have to run the business.
This business, yeah.
So, and the students, they don't want to have less than the number of buses.
In fact, they're asking
for more.
They're asking for more. Are you looking into that?
Yeah, but you see, the issue is, with $10, it's not easy to be able to pay for. Remember, it's costing you and I, just for 1 year, 36 million.
Wow.
You get the point. So you are telling, if they ask for more, it means that you, Fatou, because this is your money. This is everybody's money.
Yeah.
The camera women, all of us are the one paying. There's sometimes, when they make those requests, they forget that it's not coming from governments, the minister. It's not his money. It's all of us our money.
Yeah.
And it is costing for 1 year 36 million. So if we increase more buses, it means we're going to pay close to
be paying
more, maybe 40, maybe 50 million again, just for the buses. What we are saying here now, now that we have, everybody have seen that it is possible. Maybe later on, once we settle down with other issues, we will now have a meeting with all the stakeholders and so on to look at what is the reasonable now cost that students can pay instead of the $10, because it is unanimous, even among students. Some of them, not all of them, because students will remain students.
Yes.
In fact, that $10 for them to Faraba, some will tell you that
it's still expensive. Yes.
Very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So that's how some will look at it. But the reality is it sustainable?
Yeah.
You see, so that's what we are saying. At the appropriate time, we will now have a meeting with all of them, and then we agree on what is seen to be reasonable. Then the other balance, government to continue paying. Okay? And then now maybe there will be another possibility, but that one we need to get the buying, because GTSE also needs. It's not just to say we increase. Do we have enough buses? Do you have enough manpower? Remember, for GTSE, for all the 20 buses, they must have a minimum of 20 drivers ready, number one. Number two, they always also have to have backup. Some drivers sitting the depot now waiting in case there's somebody who could not come, so that they can step in.
Okay.
So in essence, at the end of the day, you don't have only 20, you have more than 20 drivers. But then also they have other officials also. So there's a lot of money.
There's a lot of money and logistics.
Exactly.
Okay.
So these are the things that we want to work on. But at the appropriate time, we will see what would be the reasonable cost, and then so that they can pay. That will also allow GTSE not to be having some challenges. Because remember last time, because of the delay in paying, so they will find it difficult to even deploy the number of buses agreed upon here and there. So these are some of the things.
Before I go to all the other areas, I still want to Faraba campus. I saw a lot of demands that the students are making. They're talking about ambulance. I think that one they said is almost solved, right?
Yeah, that one the Minister of Health has already agreed. So, and I'm told even the ambulance is identified. So very soon it will be provided. And the minister will not told me that not only ambulance, but he will provide a personnel on the ground, and also the place will be equipped with some medication and
so for them to have basic services.
So that they will have somebody at any given time whenever they need something. Somebody will be there to help. Yes.
Well, they also complain about their I think their canteen. where, you know, because Faraba is far, the location is far, and they don't have, there's only, I think, they want you guys to open up because the food might be expensive for them, or they don't have variety, and that makes it difficult, and the place is far from the normal setting. Is that something that you guys are looking at? Because these are concerns, and I think as students, you know how student life is. My son likes Muronye because, you know, he wants to squeeze through. So these things are things that are very important to them.
The issue is to... what happened is, you know, at the beginning, you know, remember the story at the beginning? You know, they were saying, you know, there's it's too far, you don't have where to eat, and so on and so forth. For us, we did not want to take any risk to say, okay, we will going to do that, and then later not having the possibility to do so. And people not giving the right services. We engage some people who have, who can offer quality service. To ensure that they have the resources to be able to do that. So that was done. And then now, this is handed over to the university, the Gambia, the management of UTG. So MOAS now does not have any hand
in those things.
In those things about the whatever. It was just at the beginning to provide electricity, water,
the internet and all that. So that is basically
and then the internet also. All this is UTG management. So, but then now we agreed, and UTG management has agreed also with them that you know, they will later open it up. The only thing also what we wanted also to avoid is the place. You see the you know when the pictures and when the Kerr Fatou and other media came out with the pictures,
so amazing.
So Gambian people were saying they need to preserve this.
This was the comments and people kept saying.
Exactly.
Can we preserve this
originally
place?
We wanted to avoid having a situation where a university campus now transformed into a marketplace where things are not done in a very orderly manner and so on and so forth. And the place need to be clean and so on. But now that it is handed over to UTG management, they will work with the students and other stakeholders, staff, to see how best they can bring on board other vendors who can, you know, offer other services to diversify, you know, to the best of the, you know, to the satisfaction of all the stakeholders within the university community. We don't have any problem because we've already handed it over to university management. And we are assured that that action will be taken to that effect.
Now, I don't know which one to start with, the UTG, or because I wanted us to look at the department as a whole. But let me start, because, you know, you did a lot of stuff when you came, a lot of reforms. And, you know, we cover you extensively. There's been a lot of stuff. I want to
thank you really for that.
You,
by the way, we did not pay a butut.
I know, right? So, now, you know, I was telling my team, now we should start charging these ministries because they have so much programs. But you guys have been doing a lot of stuff.
But so then you remember, but for us, our budget is 0.8%.
Well, now starting next year, I'm going to start sending bills to all of you, the ministries, starting with State House.
But we want to thank you really before you go further. We sincerely want to thank you, and through you, all the media houses that have been covering our activities. We're very, very grateful for your support. You know, yes, MOAS has been, you know, praised here and there in different corners, but that is thanks to our partners in development from the media who were able to remember it was from this media house from here that I came. I said 1 week in 1 week time I give you rendezvous at Faraba. And from Faraba we will talk to the world, Urbi and Urbi. So it was that message that that was disseminated, and all the media houses came, and yours in particular. And thanks to that, people saw. You know. And, you know, you talk about that when they said there was no water, and everybody saw water. I said the Zamzam from Faraba.
Yes.
And so we want to really thank you and for the support, and we're very, very grateful.
We like departments that collaborate with us, because your ministry, I tell people, this minister, he will send you his work. He will send you his coverage request. He will send you press releases. Because it's important. You want your work to be seen. And we also want that interface with departments. And that is very important.
The issue also is, there are different ways. One, to be for the work to be seen by everybody, for them to receive the information, but also for the media personnel also to know what is at stake, what is going on, so that then things become very clear. But if they don't know, it's difficult also for them to do their job, because a media house, by essence, deals with information. So if they don't have the information, what can they do? So they will end up now talking. They might talk to the wrong person, and then they will be blamed after. So to avoid that, come forward. For me, if I make a mistake, I'll come and say, I'm really sorry. This is the situation. If I am to be crucified, I accept the crucifixion. But I said, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I'm a human being. I'm not whatever I say, it's not from the Quran, neither from the Bible. So if it is from the Quran, from the Bible, that one is perfect. Because it comes from God. But what is coming from Prof. Gomez? It is subject to scrutiny. So therefore, I will make mistakes.
And you have always made yourself available for that. And
that's why when I am called, I respond.
You respond.
So, with my frailty, with my shortcomings, people will know that, yes, at the end of the day, I'm not your mom hunger.
Definitely.
Well, he doesn't get it correct.
That's accountability also. That's accountability. Now, Prof, let's look at the UTG. It's on lockdown right now.
Well,
I mean, that's what it is.
Right? Sometimes we can say it in this way, because the staff are on strike.
The staff are on strike. No classes ongoing.
Normally, right now, they are not supposed to be in class because they've, apart from some few classes, some few like the ones that are problematic now. But apart from that, most of them, they are done with the lectures. They were supposed to be doing to have their, in fact, revision was last week. They were supposed to do revision, 1 week revision, and then exam 2 days ago. That was when they were supposed to start.
And the exams
so this week was supposed to start, they were supposed to start the exams this week.
And this started because 2 lecturers were terminated. I'm told one of them was even going to classes. When he got his letter, he had to go and inform his students. These 2 lecturers combined have 450 students combined. I know the UTG is responsible for this, but the minister appoints the governing council or dissolves it, right? Has the powers to do that. And it's through the governing council that these terminations come from. So you have some stake in it. Now, did it occur to the governing council that exams is in few weeks? Terminating these lecturers, whatever it is, might have impact on these students. Number one, these students are being taught by these teachers. Their assessment, some of them have done their assessment with these lecturers. Now, a new teacher taking over is like doing that all over. And, it brings a lot of complications. And that is where we are today. Schools have been disrupted. Exams are not going. What is the ministry's take in all of this?
Well, thank you. Around that 400 plus students, but I don't have the right figures right now. But you need to take into consideration the fact that since they are coming from the same department, these students, some of them are likely to take the same courses. So. And then also you're having the other one taking 2 courses, or the other one 3, and so on. So you might look at it to have a situation where one or two students,
Someone
some
is
of
taking
them, two of them. So you see
Okay.
the number might go down to less than that.
Okay.
You know, in reality.
Okay.
But if per class, then it can be
It's like
up to
400 something.
400. But if you look at in real sense, it might be lower than that. No matter what, even if it is
one student,
even if it is one student,
yeah,
it is something that needs to be taken into consideration.
yeah,
Okay, then the issue is, yes, we are the minister, but remember, in the past, you know, the Staff Association used to accuse government of interference, a lot of interference, and so on and so forth.
yeah.
So I'm coming from the university, so I'm taking that into consideration. In any move that I make, I try to take that into consideration. And therefore, we decided to allow the university structures, you know, to just address the issue without the ministry having to intervene and so on this particular case. However, now we reach a level where now we have to...
Exactly my point.
But I just want to say that because what happened, the processes are, it starts with the, you know, with management. Okay, now management brought it to now the governing council, because as per the condition of service, the management is the highest body.
Yeah.
That is the, I mean, it's governing council.
The governing council is
the highest body.
Yeah, it's above the management.
Yeah, so now they took it to governing council. Management took the matter to the governing council. Then governing council set up a, how to call it, a disciplinary committee to look into the matter, in which you have 2 people from the governing council, 2 from Senate, and 1 from outside, an independent person, 5 people to look into the matter. But then also the other parties rejected the composition because they could not recognize some members who are in that committee because they said they are conflicted and so on and so forth. So that did not work. So the whole story also continued up to this situation, and then now the Staff Association wrote to us. Within 24 hours when they wrote to us, I instructed my permanent secretary. I was out of town. I instructed my permanent secretary to receive them. So we were able to, less than 24 hours, to have a meeting with them, to listen to their issues and to see how best we can work it out. And but the issue started aggravating. And then now, you know, the president was informed and so on. So contrary to what is was circulated, you know, whether I informed the president or somebody, the president is the most informed person in the country. So he was informed, and he later now directed for the matter now to be handled at the office of the vice president, and the vice president, even on Saturday, you know, the vice president will report to work and go to work, and all of us to go to Banjul and sit down on these UTG matters up to 6 p.m. You know, during weekend on this issue. We first met the students separately, met the staff association separately. Okay, after meeting management also. Then later we met them all together. Okay, and to strike a compromise now, because we want a peaceful solution. We want dialogue. We don't want to use force.
Yeah, but you know, Prof, before you get a peaceful compromise, you know, there should be some things need to be addressed. And I want to tell you, you have been, you know, you are at the university all your life, right? So everything that is happening there, you know, because, you know, that's your baby. It's like, you know, you've been there and you've been in, you know, vice, you know, your vice chancellor admin, right?
Yes, I was deputy vice chancellor academic, and
yeah.
also acting vice chancellor.
Acting vice chancellor.
I handed over to
this current vice,
so
you know the university, and you know there have been tensions, but when you took over, it calmed down because you have a lot of experience dealing with the staff and the issues that were there.
Yeah.
Now, there have always been this complaint from the staff. All the time, the Staff Association, how the Gambian lecturers have been treated. They have said this openly on media interviews, they have said it. And they have a lot of respect. Most of them will tell you, we have a lot of respect for our colleagues. But we believe when it comes to issues, we have not been treated fairly. Now, when you left, your position was advertised. Gambians were qualified. The professor, what's the name? Fande applied.
Fande,
Yeah? And the position was there for almost 16 months, right? They did not approve anything. They left it there.
Now, my position was divided into two.
Yeah.
You know, so you have DVC
And-
teaching and learning.
Yeah.
And then DVC research and innovation.
So they will give you these examples until he got a little frustrated and got another job and left. And then another person, non-Gambian, was brought into that position. But meanwhile, he was qualified. And they will tell you there was another incident where a professor was accused of publishing students' work. And it was reported to the vice chancellor to investigate. Letters were written. He never even responded to these things. Never investigated. It was not dealt with, right? But when those, the promotions, the reason why all of this happened, because promotions were handled by the governing council, I think, right? It was looked at and the promotions were recommended. It was sent to the vice chancellor. They sat on it, kept it there for all this while. Now, they wrote several times. The president of the Staff Association was on here on the brunch on Saturday. They said they wrote several times and their letters were ignored, no acknowledgement, nothing. I think it was at that point, people like Prof, we all know how controversial my friend is. These people, some of them are very controversial. They started going to the media and they spoke out. And when they spoke out, that was what triggered this issue. Now, at some point, if you are managing institution, you are managing people, they have frustrations and they're bringing it to you and you're not addressing it. They feel less like you don't care about their frustration. That's why you have people that are leaking information out because either they go speak out or they leak it out. So if they have not have the management address it properly, they started going out addressing their issues outside because that's the only avenue they had. But if they feel like other people are not punished for things that they do, they are the only ones. This is the general belief of the staff. If they are feeling that way, there will never be a good compromise between the staff association and the management. And the ministry and government is the overall overseer of all of them. So if this is not happening, and mostly this is between the staff association and the vice chancellor in particular, they feel like he doesn't listen to them, he doesn't value them, he treats them differently, and they are saying it openly. Even on live television, they said it on this Saturday. Now, you have been there, and I watch their interview. They keep saying, no, the ministry is doing, government is collaborating with us. They keep on trying to preserve that they have a very good relationship with government. But their problem is their leader is not addressing them properly. Now, if that is the situation, what is the ministry doing to solve that relationship? Because if that is not solved, this is not going to be healthy. It's going to be a temporal measure, get them fixed, go back to class, and then go back to the same drawing board.
Yeah, thank you. We, first I would, leave it with the management to give their, version. Also, it will be good if you can have a one-to-one.
I want the vice chancellor.
Yes, so that he can give his. I can't speak for him and for them. Then also there are some issues since they are now in the court now, so I don't want to.
I know this, but the case have not yet started. So
no, it has started.
Yeah, I know, but
it started.
This was just mentioned.
Yes, but they went last time, so
Yeah,
it's now started on the 9th.
Yeah.
I think it was on
On
Monday.
the night, yeah.
Yeah, so
But
they
we
started.
are not going into details, but you know some
Yes,
of these
but
things.
no, I know. Don't worry. You know,
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
speak my mind.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying there are certain things that
Yeah.
one I will leave it with the, with the parties when they go to the courts to battle it out over there. If we can
Are we
solve
going to get there?
No, they're already there.
But
They're already there. But what I'm
if-
saying is, if we can't solve the matter before that, what I'm saying is, based on what we are saying, that was the reason why we at the office of the vice president, chaired by His Excellency Vice President himself, with the other stakeholders, we said, okay, now we've heard all of you. Can we now have a compromise? And the compromise is to have an independent body to look into this matter.
Okay.
Chaired by the labor department. Okay, and then having some other stakeholders, and then we include the staff association there.
Yeah.
You see, to be there. Even somebody, even what you are calling independent, you cannot say, you cannot put the staff association there.
At least
and
want to have an interest.
Yeah, and then you say you call it an independent, but we did it for transparency purposes.
Yeah.
Because if they are not there,
yeah, they don't know what is happening.
It's going to be difficult to convince some of them that this is it. But if they are there, they have all the documentation, all the parties to come forward and bring forward put on the table their cases.
Yeah.
The management to come forward and bring their dossiers. Then the two lecturers also to bring their cases to justify, and the staff association to be there, in that committee. And not only that, part of the resolution was the outcome of that independent committee, government will implement.
Okay.
That was the assurance that was given. And we hope that it will be agreed upon by everybody. Unfortunately, that did not materialize because even the presence of the staff association was challenged by the other parties, that they don't want them to be there. So, they are not negotiating on their behalf. But the issue is, from our end, we thought that, we had the staff association was also negotiating, and they went on strike because of one of the parties.
Yeah.
And that's why we said, okay, let them be in that committee. But the other parties, in fact, challenging for the students' union and the staff association not to be member.
But they are stakeholders in this.
Yeah, but that was the reason why we wanted the staff association to be there. Okay, the students know because this is staff matters, so that they're not there. But the staff association, and in fact, it was the Secretary General who was there as the committee. So they received the Vice Chancellor who came to give his version, and they were expecting the others. But unfortunately, they wrote to say that will not be possible. From their legal advice they received, so that should not be possible. So we take note. That really stopped the process.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we should not get discouraged.
Right now, the situation right now, what is the way forward?
Yes.
Number one, the lecturers say they want their colleagues to be reinstated. They felt the termination was wrongfully done. In our civil service procedure, there are procedures to how you sack people. You have to give them verbal warning or written warning and all these procedures. They said that was not done. So these lecturers were terminated without proper procedures. And in fact, when you guys came out and did a press conference about the not taking part in the, I think the procedure, the meetings, their lawyer issued a statement saying a different story. Now, they are saying they want reinstatement. If not, they're not going back to classes. What is the situation going to be now? Exams is supposed to be starting on the 2nd. It's not on. What is going to happen now? Yeah,
part of the issue, there are different options. One of the options that did not work was for the issue, one of the parties who took the matter to court, to to withdraw it, and then we have a dialogue, okay? But because you cannot, what we are trying to avoid is to have a situation where you now take another decision, but while the court is still on, and so on and so forth. So that's the issue. In the process, you will be creating problems also because it's in court. So now but that did not work. What we are doing is, remember we inaugurated recently the new governing council.
Yes.
By the way, headed by Professor Fane.
Professor Fane. And I was like, that's justice right there.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I said,
you know, government is there for everybody.
I said, that's just, for me, I said, that's justice right there.
So,
well deserved.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well deserved.
So, and this is also, when he was dean,
Great guy,
he was also one of the best deans, you know, on campus. Okay, and the students gave him awards as the best deans of the year.
Yeah.
You know, I had the opportunity on 3 successive years to have that opportunity. So he too also had that opportunity to be given that award as best dean of the year. You know, on several occasions until when he left UTG. Now, as Gambians, we have to maximize all our talents, and his services are needed. Now he's given the opportunity to come back now, this time, as the chairman of the governing council. You get it? Remember, you know, God knows how he does things. I was there. I was deputy vice chancellor. That's as number 2 of the university. Then later I was acting, that is as number 1. Later moved back to number 2. Okay, but within some months I was now the minister. Okay, overseeing now higher education. You get the point. For him, he was there as dean of one of the biggest schools, and so then he left. Now he's back to the same university as now the chairman, and so this is God's work. It means that power belongs to to God, not to us. Yes, people will say to people, but for me, it belongs to God first. You see, he is the one who does things in his own way, and the good thing is he's a professional. And he will work with all the stakeholders. He have good rapport with the students, the staff, you know, and also management. He will be able to really work with them, and together with the other members, you know, seasoned academics. You have the Nala Tambedu, you know, these are in human resources for many years now. So, but also the Dr. Ibrahim Assal, you know, was for many years executive secretary of Codesria. Leading Pan-Africanist, you know, research center, you know, in Africa. So for many years now working with Trust Africa, and so on. So these people, together with the other stakeholders, will be there, and government permanent secretaries from the different ministries who are members of that committee we now task them tentatively. Starting from Monday, we will start counting to give them one week to see whether within 1 week they will be able to now engage the different parties, all the parties, and come up with a solution. Okay, from there they will report and government will appreciate. Okay, so for the time being, at least what is on the table, government wants a peaceful solution based on dialogue. Government doesn't want to use Sembo. I said it elsewhere that, you know, I said, no, is it a threat? It's not a threat. I said that, yes, we saw in our neighboring countries, 2 days, just 2 days of strike, they closed a university. Others, in a particular place, they sacked some lecturers and so on and so on. We don't want to do that. We want to preserve what we have. Okay? For now. Okay, so based on after the governing council, because we don't have to exhaust all the possibilities and come up with an academic response to a academic problem. Okay, that's our approach. Then now, if all these things fail, then we come up with a policy. Make no mistake. At the end of the day, government will take a position, a clear one, and it to be implemented. But for the time being, the directive received from His Excellency President Barrow is to engage all the parties into dialogue, so that we have a peaceful solution. You see, sometimes you can solve many problems through dialogue.
Yeah.
So let's see what is best.
Would you say a lot of us are of the belief that this termination was premeditated? Because number one, as a proper manager of an institution, before I fire anybody, I want them to have a replacement. Let me come.
But
let me come.
You know that I as minister, I cannot
let me come,
make
but I'm
comments
just saying
on that one.
I will have to have a replacement because you cannot fire people. This is the lives of students who are paying tax, who most of the government is supporting, and sometimes their parents are paying for fees. Get them replacement first before you think about firing their lecturers, number one. Number two, we also saw an audio that was leaked from, allegedly the Vice Chancellor and one of the directors talking about this, one of the particular lecturers. If something like that comes out, what people are going to say, this was premeditated. They really wanted this. Now, Prof, I know you. The university is the highest institution of our land. And this is where that is where you get all the people who are speak up, right? I remember I took Nima Kamara from the UTG, Esaf Njai, Said Mati Jau, all the good panelists who come here and speak. PhD now in the US.
And just to, let me give you the case of Esa.
Yeah.
And, Esa was my student.
Yeah.
The Esa, we disagree on many things.
But
then, he's among my best students.
Yeah.
Every time he will be calling me. You get the point. Up till now. Just 2 days ago, he called me.
Yeah.
And you see, we will continue supporting them. And he left my when I finished. When he finished the lectures at the end of the semester, one particular day when he was a student, because I talked about many issues, talked about Edward Francis Small and all that and so on. And he told me, but Prof, I went through education here in the Gambia, but I was never told about Edward and so on. I have to come to the university to learn more about it. I said, well, it's up to you now. Our job is to just stimulate that academic discourse, and the rest is up to you.
Yeah.
But then he said, then from there, just to cut it short, from there he wrote an article that was his first. ESA's first article was on Edward Francis Small.
Okay.
You could see the mindset at that time.
Yeah.
But I told him, it's up to you now.
Yeah.
And he wrote that. From there, you see, he has 2 master's degrees.
Yes.
Just for your info, we did not give him that the scholarship. He sat down. Like I responded to him at that time, it's up to you now. Do it. You can do it now.
Yeah.
So he sat down and wrote proposal, and then got a scholarship to go to South Africa. He got his master's degree in South Africa. When he came back again, he started here. He wanted to do his PhD and so on and so forth. But then he was writing proposals here and there. The only thing he will ask some of us is a recommendation letter. That one is very easy, and it's not going to cost me one butut. And so he himself sat down and wrote his own proposal and got a scholarship to go to the UK. Yeah. And got a second master's degree. As this man came back again, started teaching his courses normally and so on. Yes, whilst he was here also at Kerr Fatou, he will be also writing proposals and so on and so forth, sent to the US and so on, and then got a fully funded scholarship. Now to do his PhD in the US. Yes. You see, I'm using ESA as a model for people to understand. Yeah. And that's what I've been telling my students, that this is the way forward. Yeah. You see? So you can take charge of your destiny. Yeah. And you can do it by yourself. And ESA did it by himself. Nobody helped him. Yeah. He helped himself. I've told you, 2 master's degree now and a PhD now doing fully funded by himself.
By himself.
And that's what we
That's
expect.
the kind of leaders, that's the kind of students you want to produce, that you have been producing. And a lot of great
All
people.
of them, they're Nimas
Sid,
and
Matijau,
Sid, they're all my
all
students.
of them,
They're doing very well, all of them.
And the good thing
by
is,
the way,
Prof,
and I want to thank
yeah,
them. Very,
Prof, and
very
Prof,
proud of them.
They all came when you were there. And to be honest, they have always been critical. Their opinions about what is happening at the university, they never hide it.
But remember, I told, that's how
I
they
remember when I had you and Esa here on the same platform.
Yes.
And, you know, he's like, yeah, he's my boss there, but today, you know, and he challenged and asked the relevant questions. Now,
because that's how they are wired. And that's why, you know, maybe for the information of the viewers, at the end of the semester,
yeah,
I'll ask them now to criticize my teaching methodology.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I want them, yes, you are going, but there are others who are coming.
Yeah.
So that I will improve on the way I was teaching and so on. So, and they are also trained to question the logic.
And you know, that training, the way they are critical and have a critical mind and independent mind will transcend on the students. This is the highest educational center of the country. Now,
even just for your info, even the president of staff association was my student, and he is very critical of me. And because this is
how they were,
this is how I train them. They must be critical, including their own lecturer, now come minister. But that's academia.
But then hearing the vice chancellor saying how critical Jiba and Jai are the reasons why they've been sacked is disappointing. Now, this is the highest educational center. The lecturers, they have the right to be critical of what the situation is.
But for that one, I'm
just saying that is
yeah, but based for that one,
but generally,
no, I'm saying
but
for that
generally,
one, I cannot make
I know
any
you
comment.
cannot talk about the vice chancellor, but generally, that's how lecturers should be, to have a critical mind and think and translate that for their students to understand. They should be free to speak their mind.
Yeah,
shouldn't that be the case?
You have an interview.
I should please arrange that for me.
Yes.
He was supposed to come.
I'll give you his number so that you can engage him.
I hope he watches this interview and understand that these are issues that a lot of Gambians are concerned about, and we want critical mind people thinking to come from that university, and that has always been the norm. They can be at the university and come sit on this platform and talk about the issues at the university, and that should be okay with the management. But just because somebody has an interview, they are sacked, that is wrong, Prof. And at the end of the day, students are affected as we speak.
Yeah, but that one, because it's in the courts and so on, so as I said, I cannot comment on that. And I will leave it with the courts. And then also for the...
So meanwhile, why is the court is going on, no classes? Because the teachers are saying if they don't...
Well, what we are, as I said earlier on, now what we are trying to do is to use the governing council, the new governing council. Professor Fane's governing council, let me put it that way, so that to engage all the parties, you know, so that you can see how to come up with a solution. In between, you know, it was the exams that we are supposed to take. And the students also are saying, some of them, 66%, I think, because the student union did a survey, and the students are saying that they prefer the exams to be postponed till on the 6th.
Yes.
Because right now they are not in the state of mind.
Yes, I saw that, yes.
You know, and, you know, it gives them more time also to revise.
To prepare themselves.
To prepare themselves and so on. So, now what we are doing is to work towards the 6th of January to see how we can
But before then, are you hopeful that the new governing council will be able to have a resolution?
The new governing council, we give them 1 week.
Give them 1 week.
Effective Monday.
Okay.
So starting from Monday, we give them, because they are yet to even convene as a governing council.
But from Monday, they have a week to look at this and come up with
they will start, at least from Monday, they can start the engagement. You know, maybe before that, they have already informally started doing that. But I've written to them, giving them 1 week to see how best they can engage all parties for a sustainable,
and their recommendations will be fully implemented by government.
You know, the governing council is the highest body.
Okay.
It's the highest body.
Okay.
So that's the reason. So as I said, the response, what we are trying to do is there's a temptation to come up with a policy, I won't call it a political, solution to an academic problem. We are trying to resist that to now, push it to the corner to have an academic solution to an academic problem. And because the governing council in the university is the highest body of that academic institution. So, and that's what we want to do. And but if all that fails, we will listen to them. What are they recommending, and then we go by their recommendation.
Finally, on the UTG, the teachers said they have never met their chancellor. Student union every day you see State House with the chancellor. I've seen the new body before that. The last body they have met with the president. The president was pleased with them. This new body also met the president. The president
will meet the staff.
Good.
And so on.
Very soon.
Will really work for that to be done. Okay. Right now, the priority is
to solve
this problem. And remember, he's the president himself.
He's the chancellor.
We went until we reached the wall,
yeah,
and there are different options. He looked at all the different options and said, go back and negotiate. That's the directive from His Excellency President Barrow. He wants a peaceful resolution of this. So that tells you
how serious he's taking it.
Okay. So, and that's that's what is coming out, that, that's the reason. When government say, let's dialogue, it's not because government is weak.
Yeah.
You all know that you all know in certain situations, government can use force and can do whatever. But in this particular case, from His Excellency, the President, is let's dialogue.
We have seen the police use force, though.
No, that's what you got the response of the from IGP, how it was, but it was not something that was premeditated and so on. So, and then also you see the way the students also requested for permit to protest, and it was approved and so on. I told last time when I gave the press conference, I said, remember, I know sometimes even some people feel that we are weak, but we are in democracy. People need to understand that also. There are certain things that we used to do or we can do now, and we cannot do that now. We are in 2024 in democracy. Sometimes, you can solve problems through dialogue.
Yes.
Dinamiti, why you can be there.
Yeah.
But sometimes, yes, you will receive blows. That's part of leadership.
Yeah.
You cannot be a leader and you don't want to be criticized, including me and so on. Somebody said the minister should be able to do this. But you see, when you use force, you solve problem because really there are two parties that are having issues now. You take the other one to feel frustrated. But if you now engage them into dialogue, you might be able to maybe find a solution and to this for the best interests of the country. Remember, in our national anthem, there's the notion of common good. It's a core value.
Yeah.
So when we take decisions, we need to take decisions in the interest of the Gambian people. What is the best decision that can be taken based on these scenarios, based on all what has been said by the different parties? So then we take that decision. We will look at it, but to do that now, this new governing council is asked to now engage all the parties. We give peace a chance.
Are you optimistic that exams will hold to the new date that has been proposed, January 6th?
Well, it's subject to the outcome of all these negotiations. Okay, so there are different options, but for the time being, option number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is dialogue. Yes. So, and that's what we were able to. In fact, the staff association, we were able to. They were very, very tough with us.
Yes.
Very, very tough. But towards the end, they later accepted. But others also thought that the staff association betrayed the cause.
Yeah.
You know, so
And they had to go back.
you know,
because
so
that's what their
but
members
this
want,
this were the issue, because when we said that be there, be the judge. You see, that's what we did. Somebody later told me that, but you see, did they really understand what was, but I'm not judging anybody, because they said, but because they should not have, because they are there. In fact, they should not call it independent because they are members and they are on strike. So how can you be on strike and then be among the judges? So how independent it is. But as I stated, this was done to ensure that there is transparency. And then also that will solve the problem. Because if you take a decision and you exclude them, you know, that might, they will think that you did something, you know, behind them and so on and so forth. And we wanted they themselves to be part of those now deciding. And then we said, whatever they decide, we're going to implement that. Unfortunately, the staff association executive, you know, was challenged by some other members and also the other parties that they should not be part of that independent committee. So these are some of the things that we're having.
All right. Hopefully before January 6th, this is solved and we can get the students back in class for their exams.
Yeah, we pray for that, and as we prepare for Christmas, and Christmas is a season of joy and of peace, and as Christians who await the coming of Emmanuel, may the peace of Christ bring that joy in this country, so that at least there will be that reconciliation, and you know, would say you tap holy. So that will be very, very important, so that we have things done peacefully, and we go back to basis and then build a better you know, education system. In the process also, so that we can implement some other activities that we have in mind, and with the support of everybody. But
now finally, let's look at the ministry. What are some of the projects you have been able to do since you took over at the ministry?
Well, as you know, it was here that I stated it at that time, the famous bills, the loan scheme, the bill, the Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund bill, the Research and Innovation bill. We never had it.
Yeah.
So those ones are now waiting for third reading at the National Assembly. So, and the loan scheme is budgeted in this 2025 budget.
Okay.
So, waiting for the National Assembly third reading, and once that is approved, then you have it for the first time. You know, so this is a game changer. And the other thing also is the Research and Innovation bill also, among others, is going to help. The other thing, the Skills and Innovation Fund, that's for the TVET, both private and public TVET institutions. We're going to give them funding. They've already applied. Now the team is currently going around to inspect, to see what they reported, whether it's what is on paper, you know. So what they reported on paper is what is happening on the ground. So they're going around to see all these institutions, and then later they will get back to us. And then from there, a selection will be done, because there are 3 windows. We're going to give scholarships, outward stipend. Now, it's, you know, I have to use the right terminology here, because our scholarship we give to students there, we pay direct to the institutions. This one is stipend now, $400 per month to the students who will be for in these TVET centers, and so that's what we're going to give, so that they will pay their tuition fee and also take care of their other expenses. So that's what we'll be doing, but it must be TVET centers that are recognized by NACA.
Okay.
NACA, which is the technical arm of the ministry, National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority.
Yeah.
So we'll be giving them that support. There will be also another window now to support the institutions itself.
Okay.
Okay, so that they can buy some teaching and learning materials. But this is specifically for TET centers. Okay, then the third one also is those graduating from these centers, okay, to be able to now to be supported to come up with startups. The ministry has never had such activities. This is what we are rolling out now, and that's something very, very important. There are we are coming up with other policies. Remember, gender.
Yeah.
This ministry never had a gender policy, never had a gender strategy for tertiary and higher education. We never had that. So we are developing that. End of this month, by the end of this, in fact, we will start the validation for some of them very soon. For some of these policies, so that we will be able to support the girl child in tertiary and higher education. We have now we have more girls than boys finishing high school.
Yeah.
But then at university level, you have more boys than girls. It is not normal.
That's not normal.
So if we are not, if we don't come together to address this lacuna, it means that you are telling the girl child in this country, the highest you can go is high school. The next thing, go and get married. How will you get development when 52% of the population are women? You see, there are structural problems.
Yeah.
Then we will be coming back again, quarreling and so on and so forth, because we did not do our homework properly. Yeah. Then we will now say, we don't have enough parliamentarians in National Assembly. We don't have this and that. How will you have that when you do not empower the female gender to get the tertiary and higher education so that they can have a voice? Remember, any girl child that you train at that level, whether they like it or not, they will never keep quiet.
Yeah.
They will have a voice because they will never be the same again. And that's the power of education. And that's what we want to, that support to be given. And then later on, you will see in our structures, things will start changing naturally.
Yeah.
You see, you will now see women now occupying key positions in different heading and so on. It's just recently that we have a female, for the first time, a female vice chancellor, with USET and so on. It's not normal. It's not normal, yeah. It is not normal. All our tertiary and higher education institutions are headed by male and so on and so forth. Yeah. You see? So it's the minority ruling the majority. Yeah. You see? So this is something that have consequences on our development agenda. So that's what we are trying to do now, using education as a tool for sustainable development, okay, by empowering our women folk at university and also at our ministries and also at our different admin and academic structures. That's one. The other thing also is we are working is the Madrasa. Okay. For the first, we've never since independence gotten at higher education level a policy or strategies to how to integrate the madrasas. Wow. And they form 20% of high school students and so on.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Wow.
How can where is justice, social justice?
Yeah.
Where is democracy? When you have 20% of the population excluded from the national agenda, development agenda. So we feel that it is a misnomer and it needs to be rectified if we are serious with our development agenda. So now, through our World Bank project, we included now a study to look at, come up with strategies to see how to include Tibet and the sciences within the madrasa, so that we will have people like Imam Babali, remember, you see him at the Human Rights Commission and other places, but even at the university, he's a member of the governing council of the University of Gambia. Okay. But you can also have people coming from the madrasa, like Imam Babali, who will also be occupying key positions. Remember, when he was in Libya, he studied electricity. That's what he did.
Yeah.
You know, so electrical engineering and so on. That's what he did. He worked for the then GUC when he came back. Now NAWEC. So there's a possibility to really work on that, and we can have civil engineers. We can have also technicians. We can have you know, construction specialists and so on and so forth. You know, who are coming from the madrasa.
Yeah.
Because when you go to the Arab world, they are also engineers and so on.
And that's the problem. The students from the madrasas, when they finish high school, what is the next level for them?
That's it. Because you see,
That's
right now
it.
they are put in a confinement where you can be only an ustaz or an imam. What we are seeing is you can be an imam and an engineer.
Yes.
You can be an ustaz and also a plumber. Okay?
You have to have skills.
You know, you get skills and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's important.
So this is what we are trying to do. And that's also one of the studies that we are doing. The other thing also is we are coming up with strategies, a study also, very end of this month also. Most of the time, December, January, most of these studies will be ready. So that new 2025, we start now trying to implement some of these policy directives and strategies. One is the creche. It comes back to the female gender also. You have some of our students, you know, who are having difficulty in their studies because kan moy tie sen domi at home.
Yes.
You see, should you be denied the possibility to pursue your university education?
And they don't have the resources.
Yeah, because you have a child, and then your husband will be is free to go anywhere, but you go and sit at home.
Yeah.
What we are saying here is we should be able to have creche.
Okay.
So it means in our universities, we should build also creche.
Okay.
Where now when students come, they can come with their children. If they don't have anybody to take care of them at home, when they come, they place them there and they can concentrate on their studies, and somebody in that creche is doing that for them. Okay? Later when they are done, after they can come and pick them. They don't have to worry about their studies because you create an opportunity. That's how you contain this pool of experts, women folk who have the intellectual capacity to do it. But because society put them in a situation where you must sit down and take care of your kids and so on. Now, what we are saying, the system must create opportunities for you so that you can, when you go to the university or the colleges and so on, you will have a creche there. Somebody well-trained will be there to take care of your kids. And then you can concentrate on your studies. This is something also that we are doing that gives more opportunities for the female gender now to concentrate and get education. And once they get education, they will be able to now occupy. And remember, most of them, they stay. And then that will help really in the system, among other issues. We are also pushing for our TET centers. Remember, finally,
yes, we saw
the Kanilai TET Center is open. They are having two programs there: tailoring and also welding and fabrication. Next semester we'll have new programs and so on. Last year we opened in Demban also, so really in the Fonies we've really taken care of that part. And you've seen with His Excellency President Barrow visited the site in Wasu. We are building TET Center there. Also, it's going to be multi-purpose. We are building there, and then also in CRR South, also in Pachar. We are also going to build next year, God willing, a TET Center for agribusiness. Okay, so we're going to do that, and we're going to renovate also TET Center in Basse, in URR. Okay, in Julagel, the dormitories are ready. Okay, that one is done. but then the old structures, classrooms that are there are dilapidated. We're going to renovate them. We're going to also build next year in Combos here, now for the first time, a TET Center on Fisheries. Okay, so this is going to be a hub, not only to serve not only the Gambian people, but also the sub-region. Because the model that we want to have, you know, even in some of our neighboring countries, they don't have.
Okay.
So through the World Bank project, our RISE project, that's what we have. In between, whilst waiting for the construction, we've already sent 16 to 20 young Gambians to Malawi and also to Turkey.
To train?
Yes, at master's level.
Okay.
On agribusiness and also fisheries and marine sciences, you know, in general. So, and we're using our resources
Local
for some.
resources, yeah.
Others, we're getting scholarships, but for others, you know, our own resources, that's what we are doing. So this is something that is very, very important for us.
Yeah.
And it's an investment.
Yeah.
You know, so that will help us within a short period to have a pool of expertise. For fisheries, for instance, within the system, you don't have many at that level, at masters.
Yeah.
It's difficult to count maximum 2 people, Banyul to Koina, within the system, at masters level. But remember, with our investment now, in you know, next year, and by end of next year, we will be able to have at least, you know, minimum around 10 or people, you know. So, because these are the ones now who will serve as the new lecturers and administrators of these new centers. See, that's the model we are not waiting even for to get support from anybody. We are using our local resources. And this weekend also, we've identified 18 staff, you know, but some will be going later, you know, but 18 of them to go for their PhDs from Gambia College, University of the Gambia, and also MDI, you know. So now Civil Service University, University of Education, and the University of the Gambia. So these 3 universities, you know, transforming these institutions is not just changing the name, or just coming up with new structures. The people themselves need to be transformed. They need to be trained. Now we are using our own resources. We are not getting support from anybody. We have our own resources now to pay for them. Yeah, we told even these universities, University of Education, Civil Service University, and the University of Gambia, that we are the one who are going to pay. You don't have to pay anything. We will pay the tuition fees. We're going to pay the stipend, and we pay the ticket. The stipend, the return ticket, the stipend for those going for masters, we're going to pay $500, and those going for PhD, we're going to pay $850 per month. Okay, those doing PhD, that will be for next 3 years. That's what we'll be paying for them. It's an investment, and we're going to also do more again for these satellite institutions. Before that, we've sent some from NACA, who are at Obafemi Awolowo University, there in different areas of specialization, because the Faraba, this transformation, the construction of Faraba Banta campus is very, very good. It's very nice, the structures and so on. But there's need to now move on to the next level. 2025, we will be doing more of human capital development. We will be investing more on human capital. That is our personnel in these universities. University of the Gambia, University of Education, formerly Gambia College, Civil Service University, formerly MDI, and also University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology, formerly GTTI, and together with NACA, National Accreditation Quality Assurance, we will be supporting them in 2 ways. One, through our bilateral, some of our scholarships also part of it will be sending, some scholarship will be open to everybody.
Yeah.
All Gambians, wherever you are, you can apply and you get. Others will be restricted to only these people.
Your personnel.
Yes, from these universities.
Yeah.
And then also others we will be the one now using our own resources to pay for their training. So this is what we are doing, so that in a very short period, we have the more professors within these universities. That's the only way forward.
Wow.
Anything other than that is going to delay the process. And then now we'll be coming here and to talk about the staff who are complaining. They don't have this because you have more, some non-Gambians who are there and so on and so forth. You know, these are the challenges. But if they have that exposure, have more possibilities, then that's going to help a lot. We will be pushing for that. And God willing, with the support of everybody, through our budget and also our development partners, we will be able to find a solution to respond to the needs and aspirations of the Gambian people.
Thank you so much, Prof. It's always interesting to have you to give us update as to what is happening in your department, because we see a lot of activities. So this, I think a lot of the viewers will be amazed with some of the developments. Like you said, human capital is the most important part, because these structures are beautiful, but the people that impact the knowledge on the students is also very key.
2025 will be...
And that direction is good. Finally, with all of this happening, what is your message first to the parents who are worried about the future of their students, to the students themselves, you know, the staff? Because I know I've said this, yes, the staff, they are complaining about so many things, but also they have to give some things, because they also have to understand that
life is a give and take.
Yeah, these students are their children. But the students also, they also have to understand that this affects them as it affects the country and tomorrow, the future of this country. And the management also, they also have to be a little tolerant, understanding that the university is the highest land of education and people will have to have a say and speak up. So to all of these people, the parents, the teachers, what is your message as the Minister of Higher Education?
Well, I want to use this opportunity to apologize to the parents and all stakeholders for the challenges that we are facing. We can understand we can understand their frustration sometimes, because especially those who want to finish very soon and move on with their life, and so the delay is not going to help them, because they would have loved to do something else with that. But I just want to assure them that we will do our best to engage them and we will later find a solution. You know, that I know some are very jittery a little bit because they are not used to such things, but universities are like that.
This is university life is like this.
Universities are like that.
Protest, strike, that's university life.
That's you see, universities, lecturers and students sometimes, when they don't have this moment, psychologically they are not there.
No, they have to have their moments.
So it's a crazy wall, like quote and unquote. Okay, so sometimes I would say, you know, because we understand the dynamic. You see, university, they can make all this noise, and then later you see them, all of them sitting down, drinking their attire. Because it's part of the university, you know, life. Because university is a place of divergent views. University is not a place where once somebody says something and it's final. No. In a university, people question the logic. In a university, people have divergent views. They can come up with different opinions. Okay? Yes, at a particular time now, you need to draw the line and see what is the best solution. Okay? So that's the reason why we allowed all voices to express themselves. You see, the students and so on to come out, even when they want to go out, we give them permit to protest. We are in democracy. University is a democratic space. We allow people to express themselves. The only thing I always plead with them is do whatever you want to do.
In it.
But then do it with decorum.
With the confines of the law.
Yes, and within the confines of the law, and also do not bring down the house.
Yes.
I always say
yes.
Because you see, I told them, I went to Harvard. You know, when I became minister, they invited ministers there on leadership training.
Yeah.
And you have the Harvard professors there, and they brought in some former presidents and former ministers to lecture us on leadership.
Yeah.
Especially at governance level. This, you know, how things are done.
Yeah.
Because there's nowhere you are taught how to be a minister.
No.
So, but they have to create leadership training for 15 ministers.
Yeah.
I was privileged to be among those 15 ministers invited by Harvard University, you know, in the US. But the other thing also is, you know, when I went there before, because, you know, remember, it's Harvard inviting you.
Yep.
So, you know, it's a big name.
The name itself, it's...
But when I went, I started looking at the buildings, and so a few more Harvard. So I get a Harvard name.
Yeah.
So, but you see, it's the way they package it.
Yeah.
The wherever you are, you dream to be in Harvard.
Yes.
Even people coming to take pictures, you know, so that, and say, I was in Harvard. And so it's very, very important. All these Sorbonne, Yale, and so you name it.
Yeah.
They build the image. Here too, we need to also build that image.
Yes.
Okay? They all have challenges. All have challenges. But you see, they always have tried to build that image so that to preserve the integrity and the sanctity of the institution.
Yeah.
Okay? That once it is brought down, it is finished.
Yeah.
And I always tell some lecturers and also some students, you are the one working there. You are the one studying there. If you describe your own institution as a whatever, you know, institution.
It doesn't exclude you.
Because it means your certificate.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get from that. It means that one doesn't have any value now.
Yeah.
It means that you don't have anything to offer because you are a product of a bad institution where there's no quality, there's nothing. So you too, you don't have anything to offer.
Yeah.
You are a product of an institution that doesn't have anything good to offer, anything quality, and so on and so forth. So we need to really take that into consideration.
Yeah.
That universities have challenges, different challenges.
Yeah.
They're all over. When you go to you talk to them, you see, but they manage it. That will not stop people not to voice out their opinion.
Yeah.
Let's do it, but sometimes let's do it with it decorum, and then also taking into consideration certain factors.
Yeah.
And then also the university, but also the Gambia. Let's look at the bigger picture for the Gambia. What we want to do also with Faraba, and that's one of our challenges why we are investing more. We want the Gambia to serve as an education hub. Because in some of our countries, sometimes it takes them even 6-7 years before they finish their first degree because of endless strikes.
Yes.
In those countries.
Yeah.
You get a point?
The stability.
Yes. So now that the Gambia, we have stability, and so on, these people can come here. We are not like those countries that are having strike all the time. So that they will come. And then now, that will be, that's what I will call academic tourism.
Yes.
You see? So we can now offer something. When they're done, they can go. They go back, but at least we would have created that opportunity also.
Okay.
Because remember, those who come here as international students, they pay higher than our Gambian students here, and they pay in dollars.
They pay in dollars, yeah.
The Gambians pay in dollars,
yeah,
and it is lower than the international students. So when you have that, in fact, by the way, for medicine and law, especially medicine, we tend to get less than even the demand.
Okay.
So when we create more opportunities, we're going to have more
people coming from the sub-region.
Yes, and that's going to help now. Part of the fund, UK, you see, tell the international students in the UK are paying 3 times
Yes. Even
what
in the US.
what the others are paying, the
In
national
the
are paying.
US.
So they use part of these funds from these international students to train their own people.
Yeah.
You get the point?
Yeah.
They are not saying it, but this is also one of the strategies that they put in some of these countries and so on. So here too, we can come up with strategies, but we need to also tell them that what we have is better than what they have in their countries.
You have to offer that platform.
Yeah, so that we attract
more people.
And that's why I call on all of them. There will be challenges, but let's also see how to package ours and sell it to our neighbors so that they can also come here on academic tourism, and we will be able to generate funds, give them the quality that they need, education that they need, but in return we also get the funds also that we can use to support our own people here by giving them what they need in terms of resources and so on and so forth. This is the issue, and this is the strategy that some of the developed countries are doing to attract international students to fund their by the way, even for the postgraduate, in some of these Western countries, their nationals, sometimes other programs, the moment they got their first degree, their master's, they're not interested in the PhDs. When you go there, you later notice that a good number of them are international students. You see, because the others would have gotten a good job, they don't want to go and do PhD.
Yeah.
And the professors also need to be paid.
They need to be paid.
And because they need to do research. How can they do that without students?
Yeah.
So they create opportunities for international students to be doing. And I don't want to mention any name, but your viewers will know. There are certain countries that are that they target, for instance, who pay a lot of money, and they send their people in those universities. In addition to some of our people who normally go there for training and so on. So this is what we can do, but with the support and of everybody, gradually we'll be there. So I want to urge for us, urge all stakeholders, the parents, students, staff, and management. So let's work together, hand in glove, and to build a better house, an academic house that will be there as an engine for development. And we strongly believe that, like Albert Einstein will tell us, that education is what will remain when everything is no more. Yes. So that's the foundation.
Yes.
So that's the tool for sustainable development. So let's use that to really develop this country. The beauty of it is that now in all the sectors now, you have UTG products.
Yes.
So if you are to take them out, the system will crumble.
Yeah.
So, so and develop this country. So, and I wish you in advance Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and a year of peace, but a year of development.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Prof. It's always great to have you on the show and just look at what is happening at the Higher Education Ministry and before at the UTG. You have always been available to us, and we appreciate that. And to you also, happy Merry Christmas in advance and blessed New Year. Hopefully when we come back in January, everything is solved, and on the 6th, the university will start their exams. And we can look forward to so many other things, some of the projects you're intending to roll out in 2025. Until we come your way again, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good night to you all. See you again next week. Bye-bye.
We are happy to announce the launch of our new logo. We have evolved since our incorporation in 1997, and it is time to refresh our new look to reflect who we are today. Before I reveal our new look, however, walk with me while I take you through our journey of the last 25 years. Trust Bank was incorporated on July 3rd, 1997 and began operations on October 1st, 1997. Following the collapse of the parent company of its predecessor, Meridian, the CBG stepped in. and recapitalized the bank and held the shares in trust, thus the name Trust Bank. In 1999, the first investors who responded to the IPO and paid $1.50 per share received their maiden dividend of 50 bututs per share. In 2000, the bank fully paid back its investment by declaring another dividend of $1.20 bututs per share, making it a cumulative dividend per share of $1.70, which was 20 bututs above the purchase price. Between 2002 to date, share capital has increased from $27 million to $200 million, indicating that the bank has grown organically by plowing back profits to increase capital while at the same time paying dividends to shareholders. The bank was listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange in November 2002, being the first ever cross-border listing in the sub-region. Now let's talk about awards. The bank was awarded the insignia of the National Order of the Republic of the Gambia, ORG, in the year 2010 by His Excellency the President of the Republic of the Gambia. During the past years, the bank has received so many national and international awards. Banker Magazine, 6 times. Global Finance, 6 times. Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, 5 times. We began operations with 3 branches. Now, we have 18 branches and 20 ATMs and counting. On digital services, mobile app, check. Online banking, check. Transaction alerts, check. Watch this space. We've got more coming. Creating employment, yes, we've got that too. 400 and counting. And we take great care of our people too. Medical insurance, life insurance, private and state pensions, annual pilgrimages for both Muslims and Christians, training, yes, we do them all. One team, one family, one goal. That's the Trust Bank spirit. On corporate social responsibility, we have spent over $50 million in various causes. We care, and so we share. Over the years, we have paid over $1.6 billion to our shareholders, which translates to a whopping $20 per share and counting. Phenomenal returns for our shareholders who purchased at $1.50. Corporate taxes, over $1 billion is paid. Our journey started with a vision to create the kind of company that delivers quality services and innovative products with an inspired team dedicated to serving our customers, our environment, and our communities at large in the most caring manner. We remain fully committed to delivering excellent services to each of our stakeholders, customers, employees, shareholders, and partners. So, we remain true to who we have always